This is where we start our day every day. We start here in the saddle house, talk about day's events. Then my first chore of the morning will be to come out and feed these horses. Over here, I'm behind the camera, there's a couple of our ranch horses. Then we'll walk over here. Over here is our horse barn. This is where a lot of the show horses stay that the ranch owns. Over there is our roping arena and the cutting pen. This particular horse here is one of my ranch colts. She's by a metallic cat out of a Freckles, Colonel Freckles' daughter. She's a pretty cool mare. Right here is another ranch colt. This colt is by Ari Brown's resident stallion, Take a Pick. This is a 2-year-old. This colt here is another one of my colts. This is by SDP Blue Blood. This one I started for the ranch. Here we go along here. Here's some injured cattle. These are sick pens that we keep bulls that test bad, or heifers that have been culled, and usually these go into the horse training pen, and the guy goes, our horse trainer here, goes down the fence on these cattle. As we go over here, this is kind of a historic structure on the ranch. This is what they call the rock barn. This is one of the first structures ever built, one of the original structures. Straight ahead is the bronc pen they start all their horses at. Here we have some of the yearlings that we got here. These are all ranch raised horses. A couple of them are Take a Picks. This particular one right here is a Boone Too Soon. A couple of WR, this cat's Smarts. These are all the fillies in this pen. Across the fence over here we have all the colts. There's a Shiny Outlaw and Take a Pick. Boone Too Soon. There's another Boone Too Soon. There's our roping steers. So that's our horse facilities. After we feed in the morning, we'll end up down here. Right now we're at the silage pit, and that is a commodity barn down there. This is where we mix the feed for the bulls and the heifers that are on a development program. Usually the day consists of, after we leave the barn feeding horses, it consists of either doing something with the bulls, or we'll be sent to ride and check health on calves in the pasture. Over here, this feed yard houses all the heifers that are being developed. Here on my right is the marketing center, and this big white building is where the annual bull sales are held. They're all sold through an online platform, so no bull will be run through there. This building we have here on the right is what we call the AI Center. And this building is equipped with a silencer hydraulic chute that we doctor all of our cattle out of, and it also has a breeding box set up to AI all the cattle that we AI here. As we drive down here a little further, we have all the bulls that will be sold. This pen of bulls here is a bunch of Red Angus bulls that will be sold this October. All these bulls are fed a total mixed ration, and their rations consist of green chop, wheat silage, cotton burrs, and a concentrate source, which is usually a distiller's dried grain, is what we use for protein, and slowly but surely it has some gluten and whatnot, and it's also fed top dressed with a little rumensin. This next pen of bulls we got is another straight Red Angus pen. A lot of these bulls that you'll see in this pen are not raised here at R.E. Brown. They're raised by cooperators who participate in a program through R.E. Brown Ranch, and they'll bring their wing calves to the ranch here to be developed, and then their calves are sold for a premium but they're only allowed to use R.E. Brown genetics. This pen here is a black and red mixed pen. It has some black Angus and Red Angus. So day to day, our major duties here would be checking health, cleaning these pens, keeping these bulls from getting sick, most commonly foot rot and pink eyes. These bulls are all semen tested. Like right there, you can see that bull where the patch of hair is missing. We scanned the rib eyes out of this pen so the hair still doesn't grow back. That bull right there is a black red bull. You can see because of his purple tag, which means he's a Red Angus with a black phenotype. So as we drive further down, these will be the newest received bulls from our cooperators, and they will go into this pen that has this grow safe system. And this grow safe system is really interesting because it measures feed efficiency. So each one of these bulls has an EID in their ear, and this is reading feed efficiency and taking a day-by-day date on them to see how much each one of these bulls is eating. So this is a very important system to the ranch. And this is a mixed pen of black reds and reds. And this last pen of bulls we have here is a mix of reds and composites, and that composite is a Sim Angus, which is Simmental Angus cross. So thank you for watching the video. Hello, this is Duncan Anderson. I'm giving y'all my final presentation. Pardon the cracked screen, but this is the best we got, so we're gonna make it work. Anyways, we'll start with the crew. This is a picture of the crew that I worked with throughout this internship. It's Landon Brown, Ty Fox, Gabe Jennings, Foreman, Tucker Brown, Sam Phillips, and Donald Brown in that photo. We'll move on to the next slide. One of the main focuses of this internship was preparing the bulls for the bull sale. That was the main focus when I arrived. The task included fertility testing, feeding the bulls, scanning ribeyes, clipping bulls, culling bulls based on physical characteristics. I mean, everything you can think of to prepare these bulls for our customers. We did long days of fertility testing these bulls. We fertility tested them 2 weeks before. The scanning ribeyes was more for the fall bulls to get carcass data on them. Anyways, we'll move on here. As far as preparing for the bull sale, the courses that apply to this is physiology, reproduction, animal nutrition, livestock management, anatomy, physiology. Those courses were all very important. Probably the two most important was the physiology, reproduction, and the animal nutrition. Of course, we're selling a animal that is supposed to reproduce, so the reproduction side is very important as far as breeding soundness exams, checking for penis warts, semen count in his fertility testing as far as how many deformed sperm cells or pass fail. You know, what we considered, we wanted a upwards of like 60% motility. Anyways, on this slide, I have a picture of common vaccinations and a wormer that we use, which is Dectomax. There's a Vision 7. There's a lepto vaccine there. And another one that we use commonly on calves was a Bovashield. You don't see that one in there. As far as outside of the classroom, I just didn't realize the sheer challenges that you face on developing these bulls. We sell age advantage bulls here, so that means they're 18 months old. So as far as getting these bulls sound, getting these bulls turned out, and getting them on an exercise program so these bulls can function when these buyers take them home and go to the pasture with them is very important. Anybody can feed a bull in a feedlot, but we want these bulls to perform when they get home. Due to bad conditions, rough country, we want them to be able to perform anywhere that our buyers may take them. So anyways, continuing on with the repro side of things, starting in April, a big portion of the internship was breeding heifers and breeding AI cows. On all three of these pictures, I have a breeding box in the first picture on the left. In the middle there is kind of our breeding station that houses our water bath for our semen. It's got the semen inventory book there, some sheaths for the insemination rod, and then there's some semen tanks there which house all the semen from the bulls that we use. Sorry about that. Here's some continued repro. We had to synchronize these heifers, and again, I go back to the physiology of reproduction. That was probably the most important class here that I can think of on this ranch. But anyways, I learned a lot about synchronizing large groups. We had first and second day breeders, which means we would have one group of AI cows that we brought in one day, and then we would be able to get those done in a timely manner, and then we'd have a second day, so we didn't have everything come in on one day. But I learned a lot about synchronizing large groups of cattle. And here they do 3 service AIs, so they'll catch the first ones, and whatever is bred will get turned out, and then they'll hopefully only have to service them again the second time, but they will do a third service if necessary. Back onto the bull sale side of things. The bull sale was a very important integral part of this internship. Tasks included everything from their advertising to preparing the ranch as far as infrastructure maintenance, cleaning pens, preparing parking lots, mowing. Everything was geared towards the customer experience. So as soon as they turned off the highway to drive into this internship, we wanted everything to look professional and be clean and be kept and look nice. As far as customer service, we needed to be well versed on where all these bulls were, and if the customers had a question on such and such EPDs, we needed to be able to answer it and answer it well, because we don't want to be a crew that has to go find the manager for questions. We want to be well versed on our product. As we continue the bull sale, courses that apply to this, I would say professional communications, communicating with our customers, communicating agriculture was another class, and ag sales and services, learning how to make social media posts, learning how to make advertisements that are effective advertising, that was geared towards our audience, geared towards our buyers. And then on sale day, it was just a lot of directing customers, helping them, showing them bulls, showing them display lots, and anything else that they might need. Now as we move on to one of our third big tasks of this ranch was probably controlled burning, but a broader deal was probably range management is a big thing here. So we did a couple of controlled burns here, burned our pastures to improve pasture health and reduce fuel loads. So if wildfire were to spread here, the fuel load is a lot less and it won't be a big raging fire. So I put the courses that apply on this particular part of the internship is fundamentals of crop science and horticulture, learning different pesticides, learning where a controlled burn would be productive, and we burned quite a few pastures in order to improve health, and we burned them kind of early in the spring, right as everything started to green up, to get rid of all the old growth so that the new growth coming this spring would come in really strong. Here's another couple of pictures just from Brandon. We had a couple of Brandons, and moving cattle, we moved cattle a lot. We moved cattle frequently, every 2 weeks, keep them on fresh pasture, keep our pastures from being just beat down to nothing. Yeah, that's about that on that. As far as beyond the discipline, you learn a lot of things. It's, the science behind managing a seed stock operation, you can learn a lot in a classroom. But as far as behind the discipline, moving cattle, branding, checking heat, working with a large crew, learning how to work with different people, keeping records on a large commercial herd, training horses, stuff like that is the beyond the discipline, out of the course stuff that we learned here. Personally, I learned a lot from their horse trainer here, Landon Brown. He taught me a lot as far as rein cow horse stuff goes, starting colts and doing stuff like that. Get my colts a broker as far as sliding stops, turning around, flying lead changes. Stuff to refine the quality of these horses. But as far as moving cattle, moving cattle effectively, getting them strung out, not just pushing from the back, working the sides. Branding, you don't learn how to drag calves in a classroom, but checking heat on heifers, we check heat twice a day on them, check them in the morning and check them in the evening, and then, breed every other day. So learning how to manage your reproduction cycles, learning, how to manage these large AI groups. And as far as working with a large crew, you learn how to be productive, take initiative, find other things, and learn how to deal with different personality types. And a large part of what I learned here on this ranch is record keeping. They're very record intensive here. So, we're talking records all the way down to keeping records on the gas that you put in your ranch truck. As far as semen inventory books, inventory, we have an app here at this ranch where every cow that's moved, you move on the app. And so there's a constant updated inventory of each pen, each pasture, what's in it, numbers. So keeping records on large herds so everybody can just pull something up and know where everything is, and it's not a wild goose chase all the time. So anyways, that was some of the major things I learned during this internship. But anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I wish everyone well.